Hello and welcome back to another edition of our
Imperfect.
love story.
So you guys really enjoyed last week's episode, which is basically just the beginning, and we are back with our second episode. I
Yay!
actually just want to vlog a little bit. So today's story is really telling you the story of how we became boyfriend and girlfriend. But before we get into that, I asked you guys a few questions on basically our previous episode. So with every episode we'll answer about 3 or 4 questions relatable to the previous episode and just give our advice. At the end of the day, we decided to share our story because that is kind of like our testimony. And we're not giving advice and saying this is what you should do and this is how you should handle it and because I feel like everyone's opinion is different.
Yeah.
And someone cannot attack you on your testimony, and that is why we decided to share our story, and then out of that you can make up your own mind or take your own advice.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. Yeah, because I also think, of course, in any relationship there is no set recipe. There is no exact way which you can do it. I mean, if there was, then anyone could do it, isn't it?
True.
So,
Everyone would be happily married and never had problems.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's go on to my Instagram. Also, these questions will stay anonymous because I know that sometimes people might want to ask something, but they don't want other people to see their names if it's maybe relatable to their relationship or that sort of thing. So if you have a question, you can definitely go and answer on my Instagram. After every episode, I'll upload a little sticker tab so you guys can ask your questions there. If you don't care about your name showing, you can always leave it in the comment section down below and we might choose a comment from there. So the first one, so there's actually a lot of questions here asking, how did I know that Kevin was the one? When I looked at Kevin, did I know that he was going to be my husband one day? How do you know when you start dating if you find the right one? You know, that's a lot of questions we got. And personally, just like the one related to me where when I looked at Kevin, did I know that he was my husband? Remember, I was 18 years old when I met him. So in our story, you will basically see what I went through and what my thoughts were. But when you're 18 years old, I don't think you think about dating a husband or getting a husband at that age. You kind of, you know, you're still playing the dating game and not really sure what's going to happen. I don't think that you know from the start go. Like, I didn't know that he was the one at all from the start go. We'll explain a bit more in our story. But yeah, from our side, I don't know if it's something you know.
I think, obviously, if you know, then you will stop working, you know. So it doesn't. You have to try. It's like trial and error. That's the only way you'll get to a point where you can say, yeah, okay, this is really true marriage material, you know. And it will only come to a certain point. But up until then, I mean, you can't walk into a place tonight and eat peanuts and think you're gonna get your ideal man or woman, you know. It's not like that.
But also, one of the questions that was similar asked about having, when do you let your guard down? I think it's so crazy because especially in a new relationship, when you meet someone new, I feel like you cannot identify if that person is the one because we still have so many walls up that's covering who we really are, and it takes a few months or so to actually get to know the other person. That's why a lot of people end up breaking up after 2 or 3 months, because then when you start letting your walls down or that person, there might be some clashes and things, and it's difficult because I feel like every situation is different. Like, even his phone is like a microwave and then every time it goes off, I want to freaking kill him because it's like, I'm like, why is the microwave going off?
Okay, I get iets om te say.
Okay.
So you can just say dating and getting to know someone is like peeling an onion. It's really, you can peel back the layers, but at some point you're gonna get some tears in your eyes.
And also every onion's different. Some has got a few
Exactly.
layers, some has got a lot of layers.
Some are old, some are not.
Mr. Shrek.
Some are purple, some are not.
Okay, so there's one that says, were you self-conscious to let him see you without makeup at first? You're beautiful though. Thank you so much. So, funny story. When we just started dating, I was a very insecure girl from school. I even wore makeup to school and I always felt like I needed makeup to feel beautiful. I mean, sometimes I still feel that way, but I'm a bit more relaxed about that whole thing now. But yes, I was absolutely self-conscious because at the beginning stages of a relationship, you don't want to do, like, I didn't want to do anything to turn him off, you know, off of me. And I felt like me not wearing makeup would make him see that I'm not pretty without makeup. I know it's stupid, but that's just how us girls think. So what I used to do is, when we just started sleeping over by each other and everything, I would like take a bath and wash my face and do everything, and then I get dressed in the bathroom, and then before I go out I put on like a little bit of a BB cream and a little bit of mascara, but very naturally, just so it looks like, you know, I have this natural beautiful face coming straight off the shower. And also after that I would like almost immediately want to go to bed and sleep. And I'd always try and wake up a bit before him so I can go to the bathroom and quickly do my makeup in the morning. But later on, those sort of things started to fade away. And he saw me for who I was, which is on the inside, I guess. And that at the end of the day, that's really the important thing. I think also when we watch Love Island, you know, people are so attracted to each other physically because physically they're beautiful and stunning or whatever, but when they get to know each other, they actually later on can't stand each other, you know, or it can be vice versa. But
Yeah, I wasn't self-conscious of not wearing makeup. I would catch myself just standing in the mirror, make sure, you know, everything is intact, everything looked good, you know. That's what I did.
Well, you look great either or. You don't need makeup.
Only when you started to realize the inner me, when you start to know the inner me.
Just asking about advice for someone who's very, wat is besit
Possessive.
like possessive and jealous. I think for us, we cannot comment on that because we haven't been in that situation, and we cannot give our advice because, as we mentioned, we don't want to sit here and be like this and this and this is what you should do. We want to share our story and our experience, and because we haven't experienced that, it's a very difficult question to answer.
I think obviously one thing is, if you have that feelings, you know, have maybe a sit down, because that is a good route where a good relationship always starts, is by being open with each other, you know. So I don't know, maybe give that a go. I have no idea.
So let's get into our story, right? Following up on our last episode, we started seeing each other. So obviously,
Wink, wink, kiss, kiss.
not yet, no. We were chatting a lot on WhatsApp and everything, and then I know my matric farewell was coming up, and I was going with another guy, which was obviously arranged long beforehand and everything. And he told me no, he'll pick me up afterwards and like take me out that evening. Kan ons by 'n gesluis en dis jy moet sien op die bank. Sê. Yeah.
Yeah, so the story is, I would have really wanted to go to a matric farewell, but obviously, things already was set in motion, things were going according to plans, the other guys and stuff, and I at least had the after party, so I picked her up after matric farewell, and off we went. We actually went to Melville. At that time it was a lack of place to jaw, if I can call it that. It was a fun area to go to, so we went to a few places, or did we just go to one?
I think we went to like 2.
Yeah, I can recall Cool Runnings. I used to love Cool Runnings.
Yeah.
It was just like a vibey place, you know, and it was fun. So we ended up going there, having a few drinks and having a good time. And after that,
Well, while we were at Cool Runnings, he put his hand on my leg.
But softly.
And like,
Touching us softly.
The feelings I had was insane. You know that like butterfly and like you're so like I'm so excited about what's happening. You know, yeah.
And then we went off. We left there and we went to my cousin's house. We actually just watched the movie. That's what we did. Yeah. So we watched the movie and that's where I made my move.
You went in for the kiss.
Talk about butterflies touching legs and stuff. I tell you what, it was Guy Fawkes in my mind when I kissed her. It was like.
But you know what? Even though it was that exciting, it was such an awkward kiss because we were obviously on the couch. Let us show you. We were on the couch like this, right? And then he like so my neck is like. So it was so awkward, but it was still really nice.
Hey, that was like it was the first kiss, so I'll take it. Huh?
Yeah,
it
was a great first kiss, and that made me really excited. It made me feel like, okay, we like busy getting into things. So we obviously saw each other not that much, but quite a lot. Like he would play touch rugby with all the boys from our grade after school.
Yeah.
I think, and we would like see each other every now and then. I'll just like
yeah, we had touch rugby on certain afternoons, obviously to get the fitness levels up and stuff. And then some of the guys that were in matric, they would join us and play with us. And yeah, after that, I would go by her house because
I lived close to the school.
Very close, yeah. So.
And yeah, so at that time I wasn't really sure what was going to happen because obviously I know that he wasn't really someone who would settle down as much or had a girlfriend very often or for a long period of time. But at that stage in my life, I kind of felt like, you know what, I'm 18, I'm almost done with school, I'm just gonna enjoy this. I mean, I don't know how long it's gonna last, but you know, I'll learn from this experience and I'll just enjoy him. And we ended up hanging out a lot for about over a week and a half. We'd always go places, go to a braais. I think it was like 2 weeks actually, I'm not even sure. But we would like go to braais. Obviously he'll hold my hand and we'll kiss each other, and it was very exciting.
Lovey-dovey.
Very lovey-dovey. But it wasn't like, okay, you're my boyfriend and I'm your girlfriend. And I never thought that it would ever get to that stage. I think we would just like enjoy each other. No sex or funny stuff was involved at that stage at all. We were just kissing and having fun. And yeah, I didn't think he would ever ask me to be his girlfriend.
But then Firkin happened. Firkin! Giving away our age. I think Firkin's name, the place where Firkin was, changed its name like already 3 times since then. Looks like they have a bad track record with the dating game.
And we went to go and watch
Arnie Jordaan. Ja, lekker.
Like Afrikaans.
Bietjie waterpop.
And then we went home and he would always like get out and then kiss me goodbye, and then I'll open the gate and close the gate and he'll wait for me to like go in behind the house and then he'll leave. And I was busy opening the gate and he like pulled my hand. He's like, I need to ask you something, but like very randomly, like, oh, I need to ask you something, like, you know, like something like tomorrow.
Yeah, like I ran out of airtime. Can I maybe phone someone?
Yeah, like that sort of attitude. Not like, listen, I want to ask you. He was like, oh, I want to ask you something. And I was like, okay, what do you want to ask me?
So yeah, obviously it was Afrikaans, but it was.
Say it one Afrikaans. Yeah, subtitles.
We're not official yet, and I would like to make it official. So I'm not gonna ask you, will jy my girl wees, nee? I'm not gonna do that. Will jy my girl wees? Will jy my girl wees?
He used to joke like that. I actually remember
yeah.
But he never used to like ask me like that. He'd say, oh, if he asked me one day, he's gonna ask me like this. So you my girl wees.
So I didn't want to do it like that. I wanted to be proper, and I think I still joked about sal jy my case, because at that time it was like we would joke about older people, not old people, older people that used to say sal jy my case wees, and we just said that's not a thing. It's like sal jy my girl wees of gaan ons is ons 'n item.
Ja, is ons 'n item. I don't even know what the terms are in today's like world. Like I feel so out of it. But that's okay. So yeah, obviously I was like, yeah, I was really, really excited about everything because I never expected it. And yeah, we ended up starting our relationship like most people would, you know, like spending more and more time together, sleeping over by each other, spending more time with vice versa parents. And I must say, I think we are very fortunate with the parents we have, because both of us get along with our parents-in-law, and we have from the start go. Like even Kev's parents really welcomed me in their home, and they also really respected my parents' wishes, which was for us not even to sleep in the same room or the same bed. But later on we had like an issue where there were burglars at our house and everything, and then we ended up sleeping in the same room but different beds.
Yeah.
So that was something his parents always respected, that my parents wanted, and that was something his parents also did, which I think it's really cool, you know, that the parents respected each other. And yeah, vice versa, we also respected them and respected each other. And yeah, we started kuiering, and yeah, it was a lekker first few whatever.
Yeah, it was first few months, huh?
I think it's so hard to remember because so much happened, but it was kind of just like basic relationship stuff. I mean, someone asked when was our first fight, and we can't even remember what it was.
Yeah, like, you know, fighting and, you know, small stuff. It's not really something you focus on. So it's not really something you will remember. I mean, we're talking here about 12 years ago. So 12 years is like super long. I mean, that's how long you stay in school.
Yeah, and also...
Can you remember what you did in grade 1?
Crazy!
I remember I coloured in. Now people write in grade 1. I coloured in. I tried to stay inside the lines.
So also I think with that being said, you know, with us, we kind of put those things in the past. So it's actually good that we don't remember them. Even when we were recapping about everything we are going to talk about and open up about in our next few episodes, it was hard trying to recall some of the things that happened, because when you deal with it in a relationship, it's dealt with. You put it away, you never think about it. And I think that is a very positive thing of our relationship. But I must add that after 2 months, I only found this out like, not recently, but a few years ago, where his friends asked him like, what are you still doing with this girl? Like, you've never had a girlfriend for such a long time, and are you serious? People, my friends thought that I would never settle down. I don't know, is it because the way I live my life? Yeah, they didn't think I'm the settling down type. And for me, people were telling me, oh, it's not gonna last, your relationship's not gonna last long with him. Yeah,
and then it was like, I think it was like, I know after 4 months, that's when I said that, you know what, I think this is my dream girl, this is the girl I'm gonna marry, you know. And like we said earlier, you can't predict it, but you know, I felt so comfortable. I respected the way she respected me, and I respected her, and things just fell into place, and I just felt it was right. And look at me now.
So obviously in our beginning stages of a relationship, we had our fights, things that we can't remember, because as mentioned, we dealt with those things. And I think at that moment it feels like such a big issue in your relationship, but now looking back, we probably think like, oh, you know, it's like peanuts.
But I think that's the lack of thing of, you know, walking the road with someone is eventually you get to a point where you can actually look back at some things, and you know what, even if there was serious stuff, you can have a laugh at it, you know, because you overcome it. And that's the fun part. I think that's the lacker part of a journey. So yeah, at the beginning, obviously, I get to know her, she gets to know me, she gets to know my habits, I get to know her habits. So obviously you'll have, you know, some scuffing going on. But that's the way a relationship is formed, you know, because both needs to be, you know, adapt to one another.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
And also we grew together, like
Yes.
we grew older together and wiser. Me wiser, no, I'm joking. But like
You were the wise one.
no, not. I'm a very selfish person, and I was very selfish, and I still am selfish and stuff. And I think everyone has their weaknesses. And a while ago, I actually saw someone sharing a meme of like the stuff you try and overlook in the beginning of a relationship are the things that's gonna cause you to break up in the relationship. And at first when I saw that meme, well, not meme, but like advising it, I was like, wow, that makes sense. But then you're never gonna find someone where there's something in them that you not gonna overlook. You're never gonna find someone that's gonna be like 100% perfect, because perfection isn't out there. We all have our flaws, and we all have to deal with it. And I don't want to change him, and he doesn't want to change me. But there's things within ourselves that we want to change when growing together in a relationship to accommodate each other and try and
I think especially when you love someone, I mean, then you want to change for that, you know.
Yeah.
I don't say change everything, because I mean you have your own personality and, you know, and all that, but there is certain stuff that you will confront yourself about and say, you know what, I want to change for this person. And if you don't have that stirring in you, then it might cause a bit of trouble eventually.
yeah. So I mean, there were a lot of pressure on our relationship also. In our next episode, we will be telling you guys about how we got engaged the first time.
When are you getting married now?
Yeah. When are you gonna ask her?
It's
I guess
been so
we're not
long.
getting married. And this was like 3 years into our relationship, which is crazy if you think about it now, because 18, 19, 20, like
Yeah.
21, I think I was 21 actually when you asked me though. Yeah.
I think it was
It's
21,
so long
22,
ago.
yeah, 21,
But
22.
you know, when I think about it now, it's so young, but yet there are people that get married at that age and they're very happy.
100%.
You know, my grandma met my grandfather. They knew each other for 5 months.
Month?
5 months,
Well,
and they got married, and they've been together ever since. And then my grandfather passed away, and my grandmother's still happily widowed. So you have those success stories, but there was a lot of pressure on our relationship, which we will talk about
Yes.
in the next episode.
Yes.
So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this second episode of our imperfect love story. And yeah, everything still seems a bit fairy tale-ish, but stick around, it's gonna get hectic. We're gonna get to the hectic stuff, which I think will definitely be like within the next episode. So within our next episode, we'll obviously be sharing the story of how we got engaged for the first time. And then also what happened that we ended up not getting married. Okay.
For the first time.
For the first time. So yeah, please remember to hit that bells button. Well, subscribe, bells, and like.
And put some nice, awesome nice questions on Instagram, you know, but proper relationship type questions,
Yeah.
you know.
Proper.
Stay sweet.
Until next time. We're totally messing up this extra.
It's
Extra.
fine.
Is that even a word?
Yeah, extra.
Okay, cheers.
Bye.
Cheers.